Hi, I'm Jennifer Kendall, the founder of Acuity, where we support women entrepreneurs to grow with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Whether you're tuning in from your home office or catching a quiet moment between meetings, I'm really glad that you're here. In today's video, we're going to talk about the myth of more productivity, because I know that sometimes doing more is not the answer. My goal today is to give you something that you can take and use right away, something that will help you feel more grounded, aligned, and empowered in your business and your life. So let's dive in. Can we talk about something that's been on my mind lately? I've been watching so many incredible women, maybe you're one of them, running themselves ragged, trying to keep up with this impossible standard of constant productivity. And honestly, it's breaking my heart. You know that feeling when you sit down at the end of the day and instead of feeling accomplished, you feel empty. Like no matter how much you crossed off your list, it somehow wasn't enough. Yeah, I see you, because I've been there too. And although I teach productivity, if you notice a theme in what I teach, it's that it's not about doing more. In fact, I want you to find space in your days. So here's the thing that nobody ever talks about. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that our worth is measured by how busy we are. And that can be exhausting. That being exhausted is somehow proof that we're doing it right. I remember scrolling through social media and seeing post after post after post about crushing it and grinding and hustle harder. I used to follow people that had that mantra because for the longest time I bought into it. I thought if I wasn't completely overwhelmed, I wasn't trying hard enough. I wasn't doing enough. But then I started to pay attention to how I actually felt. And spoiler alert, constantly pushing myself to do more wasn't making me happier. It wasn't making me more successful or even more productive. It was just making me tired and ruining relationships that I had. So here's what nobody tells you about burnout. Burnout isn't glamorous. It is not a badge of honor. It's your body and your mind waving a white flag saying, hey, we need a break here. I used to think that burnout was just feeling a little tired after a busy week, but actual burnout, it's waking up already exhausted. It's staring at your to-do list and feeling completely overwhelmed by the things that used to be simple. It's snapping at people you love because you're running on empty. And here's where it really gets me. We've been told that this is just the price of success, that if we're not sacrificing our peace, our health, our relationships, then we're not working hard enough. But that's not success. That's suffering. And you deserve so much better. Do you want to know something that completely changed how I think about productivity? The harder that I pushed myself, the worse my work became. I was making more mistakes, forgetting important details, and spending way too much time fixing problems that could have been avoided if I had just slowed down in the first place. It was like trying to sprint a marathon. You might start fast, but you're not going to make it to the finish line if you keep sprinting. At least without completely burning out, probably hurting yourself. You get the idea. And if you have a team, they feel that same pressure. When everyone's operating in crisis mode all of the time, creativity dies, joy disappears, and ironically, everything takes longer because everyone is too stressed to think clearly. So ask yourself, is there another way? What if I told you that your next breakthrough might not come from adding more to your plate, but from taking something off? I know It sounds too simple to be true, but hear me out. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is ask yourself, what can I stop doing that's not actually serving me? Here are three ways to work with your humanity and not against it. Step one, simplify before you optimize. So before you add another app, another system, another productivity hack, take a look at what you're already doing. I bet there are steps in your process that exist because that's how we've always done it, or at one time it made sense. Last month, I realized that I was using three different platforms to do something that could be done in one. Those extra steps weren't making me more thorough, they were just eating up time and mental energy that I could have used for doing things that actually matter. Now, keep in mind, just because I've identified it doesn't mean that I can drop everything and make the fixes, but I now have the awareness and have a plan to make the changes. Step two, your feelings are data, they're not distractions. This one is actually kind of big. We're taught to push through our emotion, to ignore them in service of productivity. But your feelings are trying to tell you something important. If you're feeling overwhelmed, that's information. Feeling frustrated with the process, that's also information. So instead of powering through, what if you paused and asked yourself what that feeling is trying to tell you? Sometimes a 5-minute walk to process frustration can actually save you an hour in spinning your wheels. True story. Sometimes I just need to walk away from my desk before I can continue to work on something. Sometimes that's a matter of walking up and making myself a tea. Sometimes it's about taking 15 minutes to sit in my hammock swing and just think things through, just refocus on something else. Step three, boundaries aren't selfish, they're essential. I used to think that being available 24/7 made me a better business owner. Turns out it just made me a more exhausted one. Your boundaries protect the very thing your business needs most, a clear, thinking, creative, energized you. So, whether it's turning off work notifications after dinner or actually taking weekends off, these aren't luxuries, they're necessities. But what those boundaries look like to you are going to be different for me. Maybe you do want to work on weekends, but take a day during the week. Whatever your boundaries look like, they're right for you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we should never challenge ourselves. On the contrary, I think we need to. This video is proof that I'm challenging myself. Growth happens when we step outside of our comfort zone. But there's a huge difference between a healthy challenge and constant overwhelm. The sweet spot is having enough support to meet your challenges. That might mean finally hiring an assistant that you've been putting off, maybe a part time BA, creating systems that actually work for your brain, giving yourself permission to do things imperfectly. That has been one of the biggest changes in my life and has allowed me to keep moving forward. My first video blog has mistakes in it. Did things more than once, let me tell you, because I didn't do things in the right order. And I'm sure that my 10th video blog will look very different from this one, and I'm okay with that. Building actual rest into your schedule, not just leftover moments. I literally put rest in my schedule. I schedule time off. I build my schedule taking into account where my highest energy is, happens to be at the beginning of the week, and that my lowest energy at the end of the week, where I'm actually just want to rest. And I put that into my schedule. You don't have to earn your worth through exhaustion. This took me a long time to learn. You are already enough. Not when you finish that project, not even when you hit that goal, not when you finally get your act together. You are enough right now, just as you are. You don't have to prove your worth through productivity. You don't have to earn your rest. I'm going to say that one again because I really needed to learn that one. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to sacrifice your well being to build something meaningful. You already deserve it. Here's what I want you to try. This week, instead of asking, how can I do more? Try asking, how can I do this with more ease? What would change if you approached your work and your life with the assumption that you deserve to feel good while doing it? You deserve to build something beautiful without burning yourself out in the process. You deserve to be successful and peaceful. You deserve to love your life, not just survive it. And if that's not too much to ask, that's exactly what you're meant to have. And if you're still struggling with that, then ask yourself, do you have a belief running that needs to be cleared? Perhaps you believe that life has to be hard, or to be successful, things need to be difficult. They aren't true. They're just things that you've been programmed to believe, and it might be time to let those go.